Welcome to Honest Money, your best guide to financial freedom. I'm Warren Ingram, the author of a few best-selling books, and I'm also an award-winning financial planner, and I've helped thousands of people on their journey to financial freedom. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I am here to share my experience and the best ideas that I've learned, and I hope these ideas help you on your journey to financial freedom. Welcome to a special episode of Honest Money. I'm joined by Grant Locke, who's the head of OUTvest. Grant, thanks so much for joining us.
Warren, thank you very much for having me on the show. It's a great pleasure to be here.
So I say it's a special episode because we're going to be talking about something that's very close to both of our hearts, which is trying to get more South Africans to save more and with the goal of getting them to invest more and reach their financial freedom goals as early as possible. So I thought, and I think we need to do a little bit of a teaser because, you know, this is education and entertainment at the same time. So somewhere in this, we're making a big announcement about a revolutionary competition that will help people to save more, but we'll come to that a bit later. So I thought, Grant, just to kick off, why is this so important?
I think, Warren, for me, this is quite an important topic. And I think it's important in the context of most South Africans' lives. If we think about it, you know, everybody makes a financial planning decision every single day of their lives. Every time you buy something, every time you go to the shops. And a lot of those financial planning decisions are not done in advance. You don't always know that you're going to have to do them. And I think that when it comes to solving those financial planning decisions, in reality, there's kind of two main ways you do that. The one is through investing, and the other one's through debt. Now, the problem is that many individuals tend to use debt as the way that they solve their financial planning problems, when it comes to an unexpected car expense, and even something as important as education. And for me, that has been because debt is so accessible. It's so easy to borrow money to solve a problem. And with investing, it's quite difficult. It takes time, it takes planning, it takes trust. You've got to find someone, like yourself that you've got to trust and build a relationship with over time. And, that kind of thing is not, doesn't naturally come to mind. And I think so, with joining forces with you guys and having this discussion with you guys, effectively what we're trying to do is make investing or make planning for a goal so much more accessible and make it more attractive. And the benefits of this are actually massive in terms of you do this over someone's life. So to me, this is personally super important.
So I think one of the difficulties with saving versus spending is that it's really easy when you've got a credit card or a debit card or now just tap and go on your phone. It becomes really easy to spend, and as you say, the logistics of saving are harder, and it's much less fun, right? It's much more fun to buy something now. You get immediate gratification. Most people in the world are programmed for instant gratification compared to delaying that for 1, 3, 5, 10 years. And so, it just is psychologically a harder thing to save for most than it is to spend for the immediate gain. And I think that's what we're so excited about now, is to say, how do we create positive goals for people to be excited and motivated to save, rather than just always selling the fear, the fear of saying, if you don't save and if you don't invest, you're never going to get to financial freedom. You're never going to get somewhere to reach your goals. You're always going to be in trouble. And I think that sort of negative energy, it's the message is true, but the negative energy is quite an impediment for people to save. And I think one of the things we need to do is we need to learn from, I guess, all these financial institutions and the medical institutions and the medical aids that have gamified, saving and investing in a way where we need to say, how do we make this a really positive experience that's financially healthy for people, but also gets us to the point where we get motivated to do something that's good for us, and maybe we get a little bit competitive. And I think that's the exciting part of what we're about to embark on now, is actually using kind of this competitive urge and this goal orientation, and frankly, the ability to win free stuff, and take all of that and make it a positive thing for people to actually build their own financial freedom goals, as opposed to saying, do this because the downside is so bad. Let's focus on the positive.
I absolutely agree with you. I think that, that word that you said is making it fun, taking the negativity out of it, making it something that has a positive impact around this. Because in reality, changing that behavior, making yourself, put some money away, reaching an objective or a target that you're trying to achieve has got massive implications, not just for the short term, but also for the long term. And I think that creating that positivity around putting money away, that will create a virtuous circle in many aspects of people's behavior. And I think, that's the reason why we are so excited about this. I mean, this is something that I think has been on our minds. And Warren, I think you and I have been discussing this for a while now. And I think ever since I first met you. And this is something that I'm, very, very excited for us to be a part of.
Okay, so I think we've teased the listeners enough. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So one of the things we want to do is to try and create. Well, not try. We are going to create a competition. We've decided to call it the Honest Money Super Saver Competition, and there are going to be two parts to this. There's going to be the setting of goals. So each of the people who enter this competition will set goals for themselves. It's not that it's Honest Money or OUTvest that will set these goals. It will be the individual investors setting goals for themselves, and then it will be our jobs to track how people are going to reach their goals. And we're going to have interim winners. So even if you're not the big grand prize winner, there'll be interim winners. We'll discuss all of the details in the episodes to come. But I'm really thrilled to say that OUTvest have decided to partner with us on this. And I think that this is such a powerful way of actually, allowing people to win something. So to win a prize, win a competition while they're busy saving for their own financial goals. So on that basis, I mean, I just really want to thank you, Grant and OUTvest, your OUTvest team, for having the courage to partner with us on something like this. I don't think it's been done before in South Africa. If it has, I'm sorry you ever did it before, but I'm sure this will be bigger, better, and greater. I guess that's the honest money talk. But we hope to get as many South Africans saving and investing as possible. So just wanted to say thank you so much. For people that are listening and want to know more, please keep a lookout and an ear open on all the Honest Money channels. Look at our website, listen to the podcast. We will start to talk about this more and more. And in time, we will have dedicated podcasts just for this competition with OUTvest. So we'll be talking about this and giving you some quality information as we go along. But Grant, I just think from your perspective, I'm hoping that this is something that creates a new level of awareness for new investors in South Africa.
Yeah, thanks, Warren. I think that's our hope, effectively, and I think the whole ethos of what you're trying to achieve with this competition is something that it fits directly into what the purpose of OUTvest was, right? OUTvest is about helping people create their outcomes, and it's about tracking those outcomes until they reach them. So it's about being transparent, and it's about being honest about your objectives, and it's about being honest about the contribution that you can make as an individual to achieving them. And I think that is kind of the core purpose of what we set out to do all those years ago. And so I think that the fact that now your team, the team at Honest Money, have come up with this phenomenal way of engaging people and getting them to reach their own objectives. I think we're the ones who feel lucky to be able to be a part of this, to be honest with you. So again, we're super excited about it, and I think I don't want to give too much away at the moment, but I'm really, really excited to see what the team do with creating that kind of competitive spirit, that ability for people to make real changes in their lives, but do so in a way that's fun, And again, as you said earlier, Warren, it's not in a way that people feel pressured or people feel negatively pressured to do these things. This is really about having fun and doing good for your finances at the same time.
And I'm hoping in the months ahead we'll be able to interview some of our competitors who are taking those steps to change their lives and to be able to profile them and see how they go. And so please listen out. It might be your chance to get famous on the Honest Money show. We'd love to profile you as a successful investor if you're listening and you get determined to enter. And I think maybe, Grant, we're not going to get into the details, and our producers have briefed us carefully to make sure we don't give away too much. But the one thing I wanted to say is that this is not a competition that's going to be exclusive only to the super wealthy. We're trying to make this available to a wide range of South African investors. So please don't feel that that if you're not sitting on 50,000 rand that you can't do this. You certainly can, but you'll have to go onto the Honest Money channels to find out a bit more. I think
absolutely.
And I was going to say, Grant, I think we're kind of running out of time, so I'd love for you to give your last contribution, and then let the people go and start chasing our channels.
No, absolutely, Warren. Power to the people. I think that that's the one thing that excites me the most, is to hear those stories, and that's the thing that it's the thing that would keep me awake at night, and glued to the Honest Money podcast, is actually listening to those individuals tell their stories and about reaching those goals. And I think that is something that you spend years working on something, hoping that you'll get access to that, and yet with something that we're working on today, I think that's that's going to be one of the biggest results from the competition, is just hearing the stories from everyone.
I think on that note, thank you very much, Grant Locke from OUTvest. Let's get as many people as we can to enter this competition. Let's give as many people the chance to change their lives as possible. And please stay tuned in the months ahead. We'll be sharing lots of fantastic stories with you. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to speaking again. Thank you for listening to Honest Money. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me on Twitter. My handle is @Warren Ingram. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Chat soon.